Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi.
Bill
Hi,
Murphy.
Bill. Hi.
Hi. And Jeanette Baker-Shaw is with
Hi.
us, and Erica Frost.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So this is it. This is your box.
This is the Ghost Box, and basically it's just an electronically tuned radio. Have a voltage that tunes it up and down through the AM band,
Okay.
and the spirits use that to make their voices out of.
How did you know how to build it?
It was kind of like experience that I had, because years ago I found these car stereos. They're real sensitive, so you could use them for pick up distant stations.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd pull the modules out and then tune them with a 9-volt battery and a potentiometer or pot,
Yes.
and I could tune in distant stations. So I had experience of using that. And then when I got interested in EVP, and I was looking for a new system, it's like that idea and the white noise and with the idea of using EVP maker with that random audio, it's like, boom, all came together in my head into one coherent system, and this is it.
EVP Maker, isn't that software?
Yes.
How have you implemented that into this hardware?
It's just the concept of it's the random formation audio. That's how this is.
I see.
The tuning voltage on this, it just varies randomly. It gives you a random audio through the echo chamber, and that's what the spirits use to make their voices.
Now, did some of the inspiration for building it come from recording EVPs?
Yeah.
So you would record and then you'd play that back, like traditional EVP recording playback?
No, because I started out with white noise.
Okay.
So because white noise is random sound,
Yes.
and then EVP maker's random. It's random sound again, and that's why I came out with random sound on this. And now I don't think the randomness is all that important. You can do it linearly. You have a linear scan rate, and that works maybe better.
So now you just go from one end of the band to the other,
Yeah.
as opposed to jumping.
Yeah. Well, the random voltage, it doesn't jump. It just kind of sweeps through, but it'll stop and go back and at various just random spots.
Oh, so the variable voltage is
Yeah.
actually what allows for the
Yeah, that's
random tuning.
that's what's doing the tuning. Like this thing, I got this. This is what I've been experimenting with doing the manual sweep.
Yes.
Instead of having this knob here, you'd have a voltage doing it.
Okay.
But see, instead of doing that manual, I just do it electronically.
Why is it? Is it for a particular purpose? A particular shape?
It's like a novelty radio.
Okay. Even though this is easy, this is still less work
Yeah.
than turning it on. Not that I'm lazy or anything.
Well, this has the advantage of having the mics built in. It's got the amplification and a place for the voices to form. It seems like you need that enclosure,
Okay.
even though you can record directly off the speaker if you want to.
Okay.
So you don't have to have the echo box. It seems to help, but I'm not sure why. Because if I'd ask questions, they'd cuss at me and stuff and call me names.
Wow.
But it turns out it's like that was kind of like training, so not to have expectations, not to ask for anybody specific, just kind of just rely on them to give me what I need, and that seems to work the best for me.
So when you say training, you felt like training for you.
Yeah, they didn't want me to like have expectations, like ask questions or anything. Just
Okay.
that's
Interesting. I
That's-
totally understand. Yeah.
Have you since started asking questions?
no, I rarely do. I just like announce I'm doing EVP recording, and then I just start recording.
Okay. So you do an announcement, which is making your intention known.
Yeah,
Then you turn it on and
Yeah.
record, and then just play it back and analyze it.
yeah. Say you're doing an EVP recording, that forms your intention.
Okay.
It like sets the stage for them or something.
So you feel that there's a link between the person and the device?
I think I'm not sure how it works, but
This is, in my opinion, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it seems to be almost like real-time EVP recording.
yeah. I think the conditions are variable, but sometimes you can just turn it on. They'll just talk back and forth. You can ask questions. Sometimes that works, and sometimes it doesn't.
I see a lot of connectors on here, and I'm not quite sure. Like, I don't know what an enable panel mic. Can you kind of explain the box for me?
I added a mic on the last couple of systems.
Yes.
So if an operator wants to add a comment that come out on the tape, you turn this mic on, and it doesn't come out over the monitor speakers to prevent feedback. It just comes out through the line output.
I see. Okay.
And then there's headphones, and then I have it so you can use an external echo box.
So you could put a mic in here and put that mic in another chamber.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now we got the internal mic.
Yes.
I see, and it's got its own echo box.
Yeah.
There. Okay.
I could grab that little one. That's,
Yes, that'd be great.
well, it doesn't have the, this is what I use. This is just smaller,
Okay.
smaller than what's in here. But there's a speaker right in here,
Okay.
and then there's a mic that goes in here. And then the sound just kind of echoes around in here.
Oh, really?
And that's where you get most of my voices. And it's just a wooden frame. It's just 1/4-inch wood. And then the foil's just glued on with contact cement.
What's the significance of the foil?
I'm not sure, but when I use foil, I seem to get a lot of ET types.
Okay.
I used to have a website before tripod crashed it, but one of the first voices I got when I went to aluminum foil box is this echoing voices. We come from the 6th planet. And after that, I got a lot of ETs and what they call purples. And 90% of the voices I get are all these purple aliens or purple people.
They just call themselves purple?
Well, they don't call themselves. I'm not really sure what they are. They call me their purple.
So you're accepted by them.
Yeah.
I see that you've got like your copper pyramid there that people often use for meditation purposes up in that corner. Do you ever use that in conjunction with your box?
Sometimes. I've got a speaker mounted up there, and then I used to take the mic and just clip it onto the side,
Okay.
and then I'd record, and it like hits a different level.
Are there any other beings of any sort, or that were either once walked in the earth or otherwise that may be communicating through your box?
There's several, but it's like I get different spirits stop in.
And then some of the design changes, such as the echo box, that was as a result of using the box and the messages
Yeah.
you were receiving.
Yeah, and just experiment with different stuff.
Can we turn this on? Do you
Yeah.
want to hear?
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Okay. This is one of the latest versions, and this one's all battery operated. You can see the charge running off.
Okay.
So
So it's portable.
yeah, this is.
You guys want to come closer and you can listen?
But yeah, there's not much volume on these because
Okay.
I kept getting voices when I first started making these. I didn't understand that they'd say leave the box open,
Oh, leave it open.
Leave it open?
and
Meaning this
I
part
never
open?
understood. I can't give you the
I thought it's a crystal specific I like.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
You heard
someone
that?
said, are these yours? Or,
Crystal specific I like.
They had one I used to carry in my pocket, and they said they wanted it, so I put it on the bedroom dresser and left it there. And next day it was gone.
It's gone. Wow.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
So it.
Spirits group. You just heard that.
What is
Something about a spirits group.
Spirits group? Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Do you feel there's technology on the other side?
What?
Do you feel there's
Oh
technology?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard something about a body.
Because I think on the other side they're like just like we are, like physical bodies and stuff. Only they've been dead over there for like what 15 billion years or something. So they're doing stuff that to us is like magic. You can't even comprehend what they do. So I just try to provide what I can to record and let them do the work.
Here's the man.
Yeah.
Said it again.
they sound like Jeanette.
That's what it sounded like
Jeanette,
to me too.
I thought,
Oh, Jeanette.
Oh my gosh.
that's what I thought it
That's
said.
my name.
That's what I thought it said. There's Jeanette.
Oh, what a chill. That gave me chills.
Can they? I just have a question. Is it able to communicate with somebody who's passed on?
Yeah. But you get different layers. You can get different.
Layers?
But some of these, you don't know if they're like synchronistic broadcast fragments or actual voices. It's hard to tell sometimes. So you can't take like everything that comes through as a spirit voice.
Yeah,
Have you gotten to where you can kind of tell the difference?
Kind of it depends on like the context, because if you can get like something that's like synchronistic, like they'll like find a station that's saying what they want to say, then they use it. And sometimes they'll take part of a broadcast fragment, and then it'll have like a spirit voice added onto it.
Requires energy.
What a trip.
Oh my god. Before it said requires energy, it said
Yeah.
seems random. Requires energy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going on the assumption it was random, but then when we're playing with those manual tuning, you can do it with a linear signal too. But I use a triangle wave to get that linear so it tunes up at a steady rate and then back down.
So if you're using the manual tuner, then they're working through you.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd be kind of like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like automatic radio listening or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Dowsing.
Yeah, 'cause-
Now, when I look at the earlier work, like with Edison,
yeah.
when Thomas Edison was
I'm not sure if he just had like a theoretical concept or what he really did to it.
right,
Because he would have had the capability of tuning an old tube radio. He could have done the same thing,
right.
tuned back and forth. He could have recorded it on one of his early photographs.
Maybe the design wasn't complete to his satisfaction, and therefore it never released
Well,
to the
they
public.
never heard it via EVP, so they probably wouldn't have thought about trying to record it.
So something was inspiring him, something intuitively perhaps.
Yeah,
And then the later work would have been the Spiricom.
yeah.
And have you researched the Spiricom at all?
Just a little bit. Something about transmitting tones and stuff.
Yes, tones.
Yeah. But it seemed like kind of a cumbersome system.
It was, for the day, it was large, it was big.
And I've been talking to another guy on the internet, not in our group, but about, because you want to do something similar to Spiricom using like FM transmitters and low power stuff.
Right.
Because nowadays you got little tiny chips and you can do it real easy. You can make little transmitters and tone generators real cheap, real easy.
And those would transmit just in its immediate range.
Yeah,
So you'd ask a question, and you'd be transmitting to yourself, and then the answers would come back right there in real
Yeah.
time. And Frank's box eliminates some of those other components that maybe were unnecessary. Maybe the transmitter
well,
doesn't make a
the
difference.
thing for the tones with Spiricom is to give them something to make their voices out of.
Yes.
And I'm just using the radio to give them something for the raw audio. I use the term raw audio, but that came from the EVP maker. That's the term Stefan Bayan called it. The generating the random audio. It's called raw audio. It said something about the world, but, and then there's Frank's work. And then the longer this is on, it like starts getting like everything starts to work together, like gets a second wind. You can hear it start to work better and better.
Better to leave it running.
Yeah,
So maybe on the other side, they're able to.
they might have to get stuff set up.
Yes. Yes. That's an interesting concept.
Grab onto the frequencies and so you're resonating.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
And this wire here, that's just the antenna wire.
Now, does holding it make any difference?
Not really, I don't think. But they do talk about using different antennas, but I've never had much success in changing. Like those antennas with the little cross frame, that one down. I've tried that. That's the AM loop antenna. That's an antenna I've been playing with. That one's like the flat coil, and this is like a helically wound. Does that help, guys? Helping. Yes,
What
That
did
was
it say?
funny.
No.
oh,
That was funny.
because I think this is just for the radio signal.
Do any of you have a question? You want to ask with the Frank's box? Like,
ask the box?
box?
But it sounds like the box doesn't want us asking questions.
Sometimes it does. It just depends on when you're recording and what's coming through.
Are you using My Mind at all?
There's a big
Angel
yes.
team that everyone is using?
Yeah, something like that.
Everyone is using.
See, you have to record that because then you can play back that little bit. You can see what they really said.
You will.
That's usually how I like to do it. These aren't coming through like white noise voice type voices and made out of static. They're like real-time voices.
Yeah.
Is there a message for us? What can we do to improve communication?
What about manual tuning? Does that work better? don't leave it.
Did you say something about build or build?
Could be.
Do you just want to talk to girls right now?
Erotic.
Whoa. That was bizarre.
That was bizarre.
There's probably I don't know, there's probably some of that energy that they...
Yeah. Or maybe it's enjoying the females here. What's heaven like?
Could you imagine just... I'd probably get stuck here for hours.
Are there any physical or any side effects to working with this equipment?
You lose a lot of sleep. But other than that, I haven't noticed anything.
No energy exchanges or anything like that?
Not really, but I've always believed energy was infinite.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
Now, in addition to the hand tuning, is there any other future planned modifications or developments?
I'm trying to make a final production type model that I want to make a printed circuit board out of.
Yes.
That's the latest one. It's got AM, FM radio. And then I want the 3 tuning modes. I want random tuning, linear tuning, and then manual tuning. Yeah, I've applied the same tuning technique to these little TVs I've got over there.
Yes.
And I got one, it looks like a classic MIB, like a man in black.
Oh, wait, that was it?
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to find. There it is.
Go ahead and...
There. But it looks like an MIB, and there's all kinds of weird little images and stuff in there.
And it's like a shadow person type of hat.
But that wolf
wide-brimmed
image,
hat.
that's actually, there's one of the guys in the group was
That's
looking at
a
that.
trip, how there's like an aura around it.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's an image of a saucer behind it.
Now, is that the only frame?
Yeah,
So it's one
that's,
frame.
that's the only picture I've got of that.
Wow. Frank, I really appreciate you, allowing us into your home like this, into your workshop, and spending all this time. Very, very interesting. Everything you're doing, Frank's box, your ITC work, it's intriguing.
Thanks.
And thank you for your time.
It's just I do it out of curiosity. That's
Wow. Okay. Well, I know you have family here, and we've been taking up a lot of your time, so we'll go ahead and we'll take off. Now, you mentioned to me that there was a box.
yeah, that's that one. You could take that, try it.
That's so awesome. We're gonna be putting it to good use. I mean, we're gonna be using this thing, and we're gonna be noting and recording and journaling our results.
Okay.
And
Amazing.
yeah, I feel like I'm 12 years old at Christmas with a new bicycle.
Yeah, this is amazing.
I'm really excited to be.
Well,
bringing
it's
this
not
home.
like primo. It's not even just bare wood on the box and stuff. But
You know what? That's okay.
it's kind of like a prototype type.
Yeah.
And it's one of those hand wire boards and everything. So
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. Thank you, Frank. See you later, puppies. Bye.
Thank you, Frank.
yeah. Hope the box works good for you.
Hello. Thank you for the demonstration. I appreciate it. All right. Erica, did you give me the backpack?
The box.
Let's start with this guy.
This is just the power supply. This supplies the plus and minus voltage to run this box. I've got plus and minus, it does the sweep, and then a separate supply for the audio. It kind of helps to keep the audio a little cleaner. But this one, I've got the sweep generator on a separate board. This says random and linear sweep. And then I added a tone generator, and that's to kind of make like a foundation sound. And sometimes it'll make the voices a lot clearer. And this is the main radio board. The radio chip's in the middle here, and then all the audio amplifiers and stuff right there.
Did you turn that one on?
Yes. This one I have separate, turn the sweep on and then the audio. And that chip turned out really noisy, that's why I don't use that anymore. But I can turn the tone up. That's coming from the tone generator. It's kind of annoying to listen to. But I can change the frequency on that. Probably around there is probably about the best. I like to just barely hear it. There you go. Now you can just barely hear that tone. And they'll use that to augment the voices, kind of.
Frank, could I get you to do the volume control?
Do it. That's the volume for... That controls this speaker. And I also have 2 speakers on here, so I got a volume control for each. One channel has a tone going to it. And then I've also got provisions for an operator mic. If you want to ask questions and make comments, you could do it right through this mic and then it'll come out on the tape.
Let's go back to this. Actually, let's turn this off first. Now this guy here. Let's talk about the...
This is what I use. I used to call this an echo chamber or a sound chamber. It has like a waveguide or channels. So that the sound will start up here, and this is divided in a couple of different sections. So the sound goes through here, back through here, and over, ends on this. This is the end of the channel. That's the end of a channel. This one I have dual speakers and one mic. And this one, for some reason, they ask for crystals. And it helps their communication somehow, but I have no idea how that works. But when I have the crystals, I glue them on the box. And also, magnets seem to help. So I take these magnets from hard drives and just put them on the boxes. This one, there's a smaller one, it's got the magnet on it. And these, I enclose the speaker, it protects the speaker and it helps with the tone. And this one, I've got holes drilled in here so I could uncover the holes to change the tone of the raw audio.
And what's this guy?
This is the number 32. Just
hold on one second. I gotta try to find it. Wait, under the light. Here we go.
And this one has the tone control. And again, all that buzzing noise, that's from just this area. And this one has the range and center control, so I can do manual tuning. I could find an area that's has a station. See if I can get enough sweep voltage to sweep that small area. It's supposed to just kind of sweep just a smaller area of the band. I haven't used that much, but I'm so busy building this stuff I don't have time to experiment with it. And then the rate control, and that's the speaker inside. Oops. But just one's volume controls for the raw audio and the other one's for the monitor speaker. Ah, got it backwards. That's the one. This controls the sound chamber speaker. And then this one. This has a large speaker in it, so I get plenty of volume. This is just a basic box also. It's has the same thing, range and center controls, so you can experiment with different tuning methods if you want. And this one I don't have the tone control. It didn't seem to need it. To adjust the rate, the sweep rate of the. This one's just kind of the basic box, but it's based on the same tuner chip they use in the car radios, the LA1135. And most of my this is as direct out, that comes directly off the tuner, and the line out. Line out comes through the mic amplifiers.
Let's put that guy away. Actually, you know what? Show me, you get, actually no, we'll wait for this one. Let's go with the Radio Shack hack.
Okay. And this is another researcher sent me this, but it's the radio, I had to go and cut the wire on it so it'd scan. I like using AM the best to see how you can scan it manually, find a station. But if you hold that button down, then it'll scan by itself. It sweeps the band and starts over. Is that good? What do you want me to do with it?
Oh, you can just put it down. Turn it on. Put it down for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, this guy.
This one?
Let's go to purples.
This is just another. It's based on a car stereo or car radio tuner. I take the AM module out of the car stereos, and I can voltage tune those, and it makes for a nice compact board. That's why I use those. But this is it's kind of the classic box. It also has a. Oops, that's right. This is the tone. You can kind of. This echo box is a little bit bigger, so it's got deeper tone to it. Yeah, you can vary the sound going out to the sound chamber just with this one. And this one doesn't have the direct, it's like, this is more of a classic version. It's just the basic box. Linear sweep is all. Just a wire antenna is all I use most of the time. Of course, take that off and it's like, drops dead. And I always record just coming out of the line output.
You want to talk about the resonator in the back of that one?
Yeah, I'll turn this off. So. This is well, I could turn on. That's just kind of a protect the speaker, but also you can hear the tone change as I take the lid off. Maybe. You can use that just to, it helps with the tone a little bit. And then this one, uncover it, has a small quartz crystal glued onto it. And I'm not sure what that does. It seems to help. What does the crystal do, guys? I'm not sure I got an answer. Probably not, but. This is a regular ghost box, and the other ones are.
Is it the? What's that guy there?
This was just a shortwave. I got it for free because the glass is broken on it. But I'll use that to do the foreign language method, where I just set this button near a tape deck and announce, or tune in like German or Chinese, I like to talk with. But I'll just tell them I'm doing an EVP recording and start recording for a few minutes. And when I play it back, there's meaningful messages in English.
That's cool.
It's just your basic AM, FM shortwave radio. Probably don't have that on. There's a woman's site, if you go to coffeepotghost.com, a lot of her recordings on there are all this foreign language method. It's a little bit. That mostly depends on band conditions, how many short or stunt spots there is, that kind of stuff.
Okay, let's just put that down. We'll go on to.
And this is also kind of a classic box. It's got the random mode and linear. The linear takes a few minutes to start up. You can try that. I'll let it run, give it a couple minutes, then switch it over.
Can you just tap the box on top of it?
And that's just covering the speaker chamber. You can. I don't know if it makes that much, kind of a little bit, makes a difference. See if this is. Okay, that's random mode. Might not have been quite ready yet, but it should start. You can hear a difference when I touch the chassis. It's acting like part of the, or the ground's acting like part of the antenna. Absolute insanity. Interesting broadcast fragment. Yeah, these are coming through random.
The Prime Minister. Different.
Okay. This one also runs direct mode. You can use it without the sound chamber. It'll record directly out from the tuner.
These are like your children.
Yeah.
All right, Ghost Man.
This is part of it's a board out of an old digital Walkman. The radio tuner part of it is voltage tunable. So I combined that with a linear sweep system. And it's kind of a mini box type system. It's just my own version. I didn't intend to put these out or anything, just wanted to test that mode myself. And that's FM. AM I like better. It's noisier, but you get better, more consistent voices through it, I think. And the lights are just for looks. I just heard of that purple something. They call me Purple for some reason. Purple Princess. I said I don't even need to ask them anything. They just pretty much start talking. Anytime the equipment's on, they'll talk. And then
Move on to this little guy here.
this is just a cheap radio I bought at the thrift store for a couple bucks. And I glued an extra knob on here. This makes it so I could tune it easily. And this is for a system called manual sweep method. And you just set this up close to a tape deck and just announce you're doing EVP recording. If I can get it to work. And then you just tune it across the band. That's just. But you just tune it across while you're recording, and then when you play the tape back, there's meaningful messages in it. Not just random words. It's actually it's like different voices forming one sentence. This one doesn't receive. It's just a real cheap thing. So maybe FM will work. Yeah, getting better on. But when you sweep it across the band, it kind of sounds like a regular Frank's box, and that's exactly how it's working. And I'll record with that sometimes. It just depends on what whim or whatever whim hits. I'll grab that or the Ghost Man or whatever.
We talked about the tape deck, but
I haven't done Robo Man yet.
Oh, let's do Robo.
Okay, this is based on this chip. It's called a SpeakJet. It has the sounds of human speech. They're called allophones programmed into it, along with various other sound effects such as robots and stuff like that, radar sound. But I'm taking that, I use my same circuit I use for the random sweep generator, and I've adapted that to put out random pulses, and that's what makes the chip speak. And it takes about 30 seconds for the random pulses to start coming on and start accessing it. This is kind of an antenna. It helps with the reset. If it gets hung up, you can touch that. And when it says ready, every time it's doing that, it's getting a reset. Or something's telling it to reset.
Ready.
And then you'll hear the sound start.
Ready.
It'll just start making all kinds of robot sounds. But mixed in with that, there's some meaningful speech. Okay, now it's starting.
Ready.
That sounds like 2 to 12.
Ready. Ready. Yeah, ready.
Yahweh?
Ready. Ready.
A-L-I. I wonder if that's Allie?
Ready. Ready.
I'm about to lose tape here, so if you could just turn that one off.
Okay. Hi, I'm Frank. I make this kind of weird box. It's basically just a swept radio. The system sweeps across the radio band, and that gives the spirits and entities something to, like bits of speech and music and stuff. They make voices out of it, and it allows them. You can hear them talking. You can hear it. You can tell it's not just radio fragments, but they'll address you by name. Sometimes they'll swear at you and stuff like that. But sometimes they'll do two-way communication. But for the most part, I like to record and then listen to it off the tape. And I've been doing this since I started getting in EVP in 2000. And then after using the white noise for a while, that started hurting my ears to listen to. So I looked for other systems. So I found EVP Maker, which runs on the computer. It's a program, does the same thing, provides the raw audio by taking normal human speech and chopping it up, and then playing it back, and the spirits, they actually form their voices inside the computer, and it talks to you back through the computer speakers while it records. But I was getting messages that say, well, some spirit said such and such, and they're relaying messages. And I was wondering, well, what else can I use to get the voices, the ones that can't use the computer? And this idea just kind of popped into my head. It's based on other stuff I've been working with, but it's like all together at one system. So I made it, it worked. And I haven't been able to really improve it, even though I try to. But that's about the basics of it. There's not too much to it. It just supplies the raw audio and lets them talk. The first one I tried, this is the first one with linear sweep. Where before I was using random, where the voltage would jump all over the place to catch the different voices. And this is linear, just scans up and down the band in a nice smooth manner. And the ghosts seem to be able to track that easier and have an easier time making voices with it, I think. I like the way it works. This is that first system. It's kind of designed to make changes and add boards to and stuff as needed. And then I was making them like this. This is the next one, right? That's like number 24. This is 25. And it's made in that little wooden box. Same type of system. And then these I made later. This is all since December. And trying to make them more like in modern cases and smaller. And try to get it more reliable. Actually, the Robo Box is the latest one. I'm kind of experimenting the same way Bill Chappelle is with the computerized digital type systems. I use a separate tape deck to record. I did a real short one upstairs. Might not be able to hear it, but let's see. Looks like a lot of people. If you can hear that. And then before that, if I could find it, there's one that says, my dad did this. And I do have a son on the other side, and he does talk to me sometimes. Not sure it does. These people have separate needs. But my father did this. Yeah. Yeah. And that almost has to be, that's the only thing that makes sense if my son was coming through. So I get that a lot where he says, I'm helping my dad. And I was having trouble a couple of months ago. I was getting frustrated, and I get this voice comes through, Dad, can I help you? So he's like right there helping me with the system. Yeah.